I haven't played hockey all my life like you have and taken a few blows to the head. It's just, you know,
Well,
these
at
things
least I
happen.
got an excuse, and heck, you need to at least make something up.
Yeah, that's what I should do. Dave Hanson is on the telephone with us this morning. I remember, see, that's the danger here, Dave, is I'm going to talk Johnstown Jets hockey the whole time when that's not really the subject here this morning. Dave is a member of course, the Hanson Brothers from the movie Slapshot. That's where most folks know him from. I know him as the original Dave Hanson from the Johnstown Jets from back when we were season ticket holders back in the 70s. But there's something amazing happening in Johnstown in celebration of not only the 40th anniversary of Slapshot, but the roots of the movie Slapshot, and it's The Boys Are Back in Town. You guys actually going to be coming back here to our area and to Johnstown on Saturday, huh?
Yeah, we are. We're really looking forward to it. And not only is Jeff, Steve, myself coming back, but we got Alan Nichols, who played our captain, Johnny Upton, is coming back. Jerry Hauser, who played Dave Killer Carlson. We got Yvonne Barrett, who was our goalie, Danny Lemieux. And then, of course, it wouldn't be anything without the pretty boy Billy Charlewald, who walked down the fashion show marquee line and do his strut.
Now, wait a second. Now, I'm having trouble remembering character names, but I remember actual player names. Was Guido Tanisi, was he in that?
Yeah, Guido was the pretty boy. He's
That's
the
what
one
I
that got
thought.
to kiss the pretty Sparkle twins and a bunch of other babes.
See, and the amazing thing is that those guys were actual players on the Johnstown Jets, many of them, and as were you, and as were Jack and Steve and Jeff Carlson, and here came Ned Dowd with this idea. What did you guys think of when you originally heard this concept, and then as it unfolded and it actually came to be?
Well, we thought it was another delusional prank by Ned Dowd. He was pretty witty and pretty much known for pulling stuff just off the shelf and pulling it on people. But as we got closer and I had things happen, like Paul Newman showing up on my doorstep one afternoon when I was having a pregame nap, and then the movie people coming in town and asking us to sit down and attempt to read a couple lines from the movie and to see if we were up to the task, and and then it just kind of started coming along, but we really had no grasp of what it really meant. We were just young 20, 21, 22-year-old kids really trying to win another championship there in Johnstown. And then next thing we know, we're in front of a movie camera asked to be reciting some lines.
Yeah. And one of the things that people don't understand about it, and I do because I was there every night, was you guys were a darn good hockey team.
Yeah, we really were. We were defending champs. We won the championship the year before the Lockhart Cup, which kind of surprised a lot of people because, around Christmas time we were really kind of wallowing towards the bottom of the standings. And then, we got a bit of a surge, finished the season, I think it was in fourth place, and then just more or less pounded our way through the playoffs and literally beat everybody up and at the same time scored some goals and won the championship. So that following year, and again, that's what Slapshot was based on, was that championship season. But then the following year, we felt we had a pretty good team as well and got in the playoffs and we're doing pretty well. But, looking back, Todd, and you can ask a few of the guys as well that were on the team at the time, the movie was a distraction. It kind of, got us off our game, and because we were even filming while we were in the playoffs and ended up getting beat by Philadelphia and unfortunately couldn't win a second championship.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember. The goalie for Philadelphia, was that Reggie Lemelin?
Yeah, Reggie was there. Yeah, you're right. Gee, that's pretty good.
Then he went back, and he actually played for the Flyers eventually. He was a pretty good NHL
went on
goalie.
to the Flyers, and I even think he went on and played with Boston Bruins as well.
Yeah, by golly. Yeah, I remember all those guys.
Yeah.
So this weekend, the boys are back in town in Johnstown. There actually are two packages. There's the putting on the foil package, which I love. But the one thing that everybody can take part in is the old-time hockey package. And just listen to some of the things that you guys are going to be doing. You'll have your breakfast check-in in the morning, and then a city tour and a chartered bus with cast members as tour guides going to be on the bus. You get to go to the Tomahawks game that afternoon, and then the boys are back in town hockey game. That must be the putting on the foil stuff, huh? Dinner at the Aces. Dinner. We spent so much time at the Aces growing up, and you guys did too, huh? Because the Aces, it was actually two. There was an under 21 and there was an over 21 portion to it.
Yeah, and of course we were the good boys. We were the under 21, of course. But yeah, it's amazing how, like I said earlier, that movie was based on that season that we had there, and there's more fact and fiction to that, and you threw in things like the dog and going in the stands and getting thrown in jail, and then you talk about the landmarks, like the Aces, and even after the Aces didn't die in the film, because that summer I got married. I married a gal from Nanny Glow, and where did we have our wedding reception? At the Aces.
Has to be. Absolutely has to be. Dave Hanson is on the telephone with us this morning. We know him as a member of the Hanson Brothers, which wasn't supposed to be the Hanson Brothers, was it? It was supposed to be the Carlson Brothers till Jack got called up.
Yeah, well, all three brothers were supposed to play the role of the Hanson Brothers, and then I was supposed to be playing Killer Carlson, and Jack got called up to Edmonton, and they wouldn't release him in time to get come back for the movie, and they wanted to start filming, so they just said, well, let's not wait. And we'll throw Dave in there. We got to have some good-looking lad in there with the other two creeps. And, so they threw me in there, put a pair of glasses on, and away we went.
In the movie, how much of all of that craziness that was the Hanson Brothers, how much was that just improvised stuff by the three of you?
Well, Nancy Dowd was an outstanding writer, and just like Ned, she had a wit about her and a sense of humor that was second to none. So she had iconic lines and an awesome script that all came together. But it got to where when we first started out, George Ray Hill, the director, stuck the three of us in front of the camera. We had the scripted lines, and we tried to read the lines and come off on camera well, and we were really struggling with it. We were kind of robotic and a little nervous, of course, never having done anything like that. And George put a halt to everything and kind of pulled us aside and said, okay, look at guys, he says, what do you think? Is this what you would say? Is this how you would behave, in this situation? And we kind of said, well, no, we may want to do something. We maybe say or do something. I guess it's fine. He says, read the lines, and then we'll do other takes that just kind of do it the way you want to do it. And ultimately what happened was kind of a hybrid of both of them, where we would improv on a lot of things, but at the same time have the lines as part of it. And that's when it all kind of became real natural for us, and we weren't acting. We were just being ourselves and pulled it off.
When you got together with the other cast members, the actual actors, some of them could skate, some of them couldn't at all. You probably had to become coaches in your own right, didn't you?
Well, yeah, there was, Michael Onkin was probably the best of them all. In fact, he played college hockey and was an All-American at the New Hampshire, so he fitted right in. He could keep up with us. And then you had some guys like, and I'd say Paul. I mean, Paul could skate well, but certainly wasn't at the level we were at. But where he struggled was, what do I do with a hockey stick in my hands? Because, even though he was a skater, he was never really a hockey player. So, he would come to us and say, okay, guys, show me this, show me that. What should I do here? What should I do there? And we would show him, and he was such a great athlete that he'd go off in the corner by himself and practice it and then get in front of the camera and pull it off like he was an old veteran. And it was kind of the same way with a few of the other guys. And of course, then, we would get a few little tips here and there to have them help us on some scenes and things. So it kind of all worked out together. Everybody kind of became one big happy family with no egos in play, and certainly Paul was the biggest star, but had really the smallest ego of us all, and it just kind of all worked, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, man. Folks, you want to get in touch with the Steve Carlson Hockey site if you want to take part in Boys Are Back in Town this weekend, Steve Carlson Hockey. And to get there, just do HansonBrothers.net. HansonBrothers.net, and Hanson is spelled with an O, just like Dave's real last name. Okay, so that's all that. Let's talk more about the Jets. And my favorite goaltender, my favorite player in the Jets was Louis Levasseur. What a great guy. What a great guy.
Oh, nobody say, only the Lord saves more than Louis. I think that was the big sign. Him constantly was held up all the time. But yeah, you talk about eccentric goaltenders. The way Denny Lemieux was played in Slapshot, Louis was right there with him. He had his quirks about him, but boy, when it came time to stop the puck, there was nobody better. And a lot of things people don't really know is that Louis went on to became a pick for the All-Star team in the World Hockey Association after Johnstown, and had a pretty good career after that. So it's kind of neat that he started out in Johnstown and helped us win a championship.
You know, one of the things about playing minor league hockey back in the 70s, probably the same today, and these young guys with the Johnstown Tomahawks, there's always that dream. At some point in your life, you become a veteran minor leaguer, and you say to yourself, I'm never going to get up there. But there are guys who say, that's okay, I'm going to keep playing hockey as long as I can. There really is something about playing minor league hockey, isn't there?
Well, there is. And certainly it's not the money, but it's the camaraderie. It's, still you got the competitive juices flowing in, and you got to satisfy that. And that's kind of the team we had. You speak of that 74-75 championship team with that year. That was a unique thing about Johnstown. You had young guys that were aspiring to get to the next level, which were the Hanson Brothers and Dave Hanson and guys like Guido Tanisi and Johnny Tetro, and then you had the Vern Campagato, Galen Head, Davey Birch, those guys, Johnny Gofton, who had their run at it, got to a certain level, and then kind of settled back down into the minors, and they were playing because they loved the game, and there's nothing like winning a championship, no matter what level you're at. And so you got that golden apple out there in front of you, and you're chasing it, and when you get a hold of it, boy, it makes it all worthwhile. All those bus rides and those $3 McDonald burger meals, and then of course all the beer on the bus, which is kind of a dessert to it all.
There you go. I still remember the first time I saw Ronnie Dawkins' car. I thought, man, I got to be a hockey player. and that was in Johnstown. See, it's amazing. The boys are back in town coming up Saturday in Johnstown. Steve Carlson Hockey is the website. HansonBrothers.net is the way to get there. Dave Hanson has been on the phone with us. Dave, it's been a joy. Really enjoyed the conversation this morning.
Well, thanks. And Johnstown, of all the places I played 10 years of pro hockey, and I was in pretty much every level of professional hockey within those 10 years. And I honestly say in all sincerity that Johnstown was my favorite place to play hockey. The fans were the best. The city at that time was a lot of fun to be there, and really looking forward to going back and bringing back some old-time hockey to Johnstown.
Terrific stuff. Dave, thanks so much.
Oh, Todd, it was my pleasure. Great talking with you.
Have a great day. We'll see you. There he is. He's Dave Hanson. Dave Hanson of the Hanson Brothers. It's Indiana in the Morning.